What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the FallenRedZeo. I'm back with more Dragon Ball Super Dragon Stars action figures, and this time we have what I guess we'll call Series 19. So they have labeled for Series 19 the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and the Broly figure, but then the Gogeta is just like an extra. I think it's an exclusive of some sort. I don't know much about it. We just found it was a new figure that we didn't have, so we're just throwing it in here since we usually have 3 character waves, and this was only 2, so we just kind of threw it in here with it. But they all look cool, but of course we've had all these before. Once again, they're just new versions, so we have the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. We've had a Super Saiyan Blue Goku before. They just kind of changed his outfit a little bit. And then for Broly, we've had Broly before, but the closest version to this is the Super Saiyan, which I will show those. But this is just the normal version of Broly from Dragon Ball Super. And then we have the Gogeta, so the fusion of Goku and Vegeta. And again, we've had this figure multiple times, just not in its base form that you see here. And again, that is from Dragon Ball Super as well. So 3 good looking figures I'm excited to check out. Hopefully they maybe change some of the movements and stuff with them, because that's always the biggest issue with the Dragon Stars. So maybe they've changed stuff up a little bit. We'll have to see. But let me go ahead and get these open and we'll check them out together. So starting off with the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku. So we have Goku where his hair turned blue. So otherwise it looks just like normal Goku, has the exact same uniform. So he has the orange gi with the Goku kanji on the front there and on the back. He has the blue undershirt with the sleeves coming out there, blue belt around his waist, blue armbands, and blue boots with the red stripes on there. So again, just your normal standard Goku, nothing too different going on there, but it's his face where we get the difference of the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, where he has the blue, so his hair has turned blue now, so it's up in the Super Saiyan like spikes, but it's now blue, and then he has blue eyebrows and blue eyes themselves, but still normal Goku face there and everything. So looks awesome. I love when they have the blue. The blue is always one of my favorite just because I love blue. But for the figure's movements, let's see if they've changed anything. So his head can twist around there, and he has a little bit of nodding up in the neck joint there, so it just rocks back and forth a little bit. But then he has some more movements down in the lower neck, so it allows that a little bit additional movement, but it allows a little bit more movement, so he can actually look pretty much straight on, where before they didn't, they'd always just be looking straight down. So it's nice that there is a little bit better movements in there. His shoulders can come up to 90 degrees there and can rotate back and forth, and they have the additional orange piece of the gi there that can move around, where in the old versions it was a lot looser, so you could get it to move a lot easier, where this one's a little bit stiffer in just the way they have the shape cut out, so it's hard to get it to move, but the arm can still rotate within there by itself. But then we have the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far. It almost can bend up on itself, and then the wrist with the ball joints as usual can twist all the way around and then flex back and forth. And at the waist we have a bit of an ab crunch, so he can rock back and forth, so that's a little bit crunchy there, and can twist all the way around if you want him to. At his hips, the legs can come up a little bit there, can kind of get him up to 90 degrees, and they can come out to the side that far, and there's a bit of thigh twist up in there. We have the single knee joint with the bend that bends up there, probably about 90 degrees, so not too bad. And the foot with these don't really move too much, they just rock back and forth a little bit because they have the thickness of like the collar around there, so they rock back and forth just a very little bit, but they can twist side to side as well. So it seems his worst movements are probably in the feet there, since you don't get a whole lot of range, so it is a little bit hard to stand up, so he has to kind of stand. As you can see, he got one leg kind of off to the side there to get him to stand up. So not the best movements in the legs, but everything else is pretty decent, no issues, and everything's working pretty good, so that's awesome. And he comes with the additional accessories, so the hands that do the Kamehameha and everything if you want to do that, so that's awesome. And just for some comparison, here is the other Super Saiyan Blue Goku that we have, so you can see a little bit of the differences. So they have much more metallic in the original, and then you can see his head there just constantly looking down, and then his gi's a little bit different. It looks more like a karate gi, and he has the whisk signature there on his chest as well. So I like the new one more just because it has a better range of movements, and it's more of that classic Goku just in the Super Saiyan Blue form. And next up we have Broly as he appears in Dragon Ball Super, and this looks awesome. So we have adult Broly here, and he looks big and monstrous, which looks really cool, and it's just our normal Broly, so we'll see Super Saiyan here in a second, but he looks pretty awesome overall. So he's got that little bit darker skin, especially compared to like Goku and stuff. You can see he has a little bit of darker tint to him. I like his face where he's got the like yelling face, so his mouth is open, you can see his teeth and tongue and everything, so I think that looks awesome. He has the collar around his neck. I don't know if that's just the necklace, but I did see at one point Broly did have a shock collar, because that's how he was controlled and stuff, so that may be his shock collar, but I don't know 100%. But then he's in the outfit from when he joins the Frieza Force, so he has like the Saiyan armor on, so he has the dark blue armor with the green details, so right there on the chest and up on the shoulder pads. And what's awesome about this figure with the shoulder pads is it has this little like thing where they can move around. I thought maybe I broke it, but they attach like with a little hinge joint there at the back, and can move around, so I guess if you move the arms and stuff, it can be able to hit that and not, you know, break stuff. So that's pretty awesome that it has that additional movement, so that is on both sides. And while we're here, as you notice, he does have the scars, so he has the scars up on the left of his body, so up there on his shoulder, right there on the forearm, and up there on the left side of his cheek. So he's got scars all over the left side of his body. Then he's got the dark blue wristbands with the white around him. We have the green fur pelt that's wrapped around his waist that he wears a lot, the tight purple pants there on his legs, dark blue bands around his shins, and then the white boots with the green tips on him. So looks very awesome. I love Broly just because of like the pelt he wears and stuff, just in that color. It's almost like a neon green or a neon neon yellow, whatever you want to call it, and how he has it there on his feet and up on the shoulders, which a lot of characters do. But then he has the addition of the purple, and I love purple, so just those colors mixed together I think look awesome. So for his movements, his head there can twist side to side, and then he can do a little bit of shaking back and forth there, and there you can see both movements, so down in the lower neck and in the upper there. So he has some pretty decent movements. Still can't really look too much straight on, like that's about as high as his head will go. So it's still not that much better range, but is more than normal. His shoulders can come up to 90 degrees, and as you see, it kind of popped his shoulder pad loose there, but it can come up to 90 degrees and can rotate around within there. We've got the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far there, so not too bad, about 90 degrees. And then the wrist that can twist all the way around and flex back and forth. He has a crunch and twist at the waist, so you can crunch back and forth there and twist all the way around. And it's kind of cool how they have this pelt wrapped around his waist, so you can see it's just kind of stuck down in there, so you don't have to worry about falling off or anything, but allows some of that movement in there. And also with the pelt, it has the split in it, so it can split there, as you can see. And again, it's attached around the waist, so it's still not going to fall off, so it allows that for movements of the legs, so you get like the legs to lift up there about that far. So it's still under 90 degrees, but it still allows that additional movement, especially with the pelt getting out of the way. The leg can come out that far to the side, has a bit of a thigh twist up in there, and then we get this double knee joint that can bend up in the back. It's going to be hard because the pelt's too high up in the back. I think we can get it to bend much higher, and his knees have a lot of issues, like the upper joint is real stiff. I don't think I can get it to move. Got it moved earlier, but now it feels like it's stuck back again. But you don't get too much movement, and it's hard because of the pelt anyway, so you can't really get the leg to bend up in the back too far. And then we got the foot that can rock back and forth there and twist all the way around. And then he comes with the additional Kamehameha hands as well. And then for comparison, here is the other Broly that we've got. So this is the Super Saiyan Broly. So it's the same character, obviously just in the Super Saiyan form, so his hair turns into the gold. And then you can see his body's much bigger, his skin tone changes a bit there, and then he loses some of the armor pieces, but everything else is pretty much the same. And beyond that, I don't notice too much differences in the movements or anything, so they are pretty much the same. Like I said, just the Super Saiyan is much bigger compared to our newer Broly. And our final figure today is the Gogeta. So as I mentioned, it's the fusion of Goku and Vegeta when they do the fusion dance and turn it into the Metamoran form. So again, it's got the mixture of combination of Goku and Vegeta, and then it's in the Metamoran outfit, so they get the black vest with fur around it, the black armbands, white puffy pants with the blue belt around it, and then the blue wrappings above the black shoes. So it looks pretty awesome overall, and you can see his skin gets a lot darker and tanner, so it looks like he's been in the tanny bed or had spray tan, especially with all the lines and stuff. So I think he looks pretty cool. I love this form because there's like the vest piece and then again that neon yellow color, so I always enjoy the Metamoran forms. But for his movements, his head there can twist side to side, and he can look up and down, so very little movements of the neck. The shoulders can come up 90 degrees and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends up that far there, and then we get the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. Crunch and twist at the waist, so he can crunch back and forth there, twist all the way around. The hips can come up 90 degrees, especially with twisting out there, out to the side that far. Again, the thigh twist in there, the single knee joint that bends up that far in the back, so about 90 degrees. And then we get the foot that can rock back and forth and can twist all the way around. So again, not bad movements. I just wish the neck had a little bit more, and then they do something a little bit different with the feet to get him to stand up a little bit easier. But he comes with the additional Kamehameha hands once again, in that skin tone matching him. And then for comparison, we have the Super Saiyan Gogeta. So this is of course an older one, has the golden hair sticking up there, and again everything else is pretty much exactly the same between the two, so not much difference. So again, we're just getting the standard Gogeta this time. So there's our Dragon Ball Super Dragon Stars Series 19 figures. So I got them all displayed up here on the World Tournament Arena, and they all look awesome. I think they're 3 good looking Dragon Ball figures, but as I've shown, we pretty much had these figures, so they're continuing on with making figures that we've pretty much had before, just changing little things about them, like making them a Super Saiyan or whatever, just varying up the colors a little bit. So I hope eventually they'll start making new characters, because there's a lot of characters we haven't got yet, so I want to start seeing different characters, but they kind of keep just making the same ones. But let me know what you thought of this review down in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed my review, please leave a thumbs up. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.